The 107,000 GMC Sierra EV Denali electric pickup sold out in only 15 minutes. Like, this is so much money to spend on a vehicle in the first place, but this is so much money to spend on a pickup truck. Like, this is the one thing that I've never really understood. It's about why do so many people spend so much money on brand new pickup trucks? And the reason why I don't really understand that is because typically the people who do end up using these pickup trucks use them in construction, use them in hard labor, right? Use them in basically remodeling, that sort of stuff, right? Oil rigging, all that sort of stuff, right? Towing. Why spend nearly, well, over $100,000 on a truck? I don't really understand that. Why not just spend like 10 to 20 grand on like a beat up truck that's reliable, that you don't necessarily care too much if it gets dinged up, right? So the GM Sierra EV Denali is going to be a quick truck, but you may have been too slow to get your hands on one. The reservations book for the 107,000 electric pickup was filled in close just 15 minutes after it debuted last Thursday. The full-size truck is debuting in a limited edition one trim in early 2024. That was the only one initially made available. GMC has not said exactly how many edition ones it will build, but the brand's boss, Duncan Aldred, told Automotive News it would be less than 10,000 units. The reservations are not binding and only require a $100 deposit, but GMC received over 77,000 for the entire Hummer EV truck lineup before it stopped taking new ones. The Sierra EV Denali features a 754 horsepower all-wheel drive train that can accelerate it to 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds and a driving range of over 400 miles per charge, according to GMC. It is rated to tow 9,500 pounds, carry a payload of 1,300 pounds, and will offer GM's hands-free Super Cruise highway driving system, which combines adaptive cruise control, lane centering, and facial recognition technology to allow the driver to take their hands and feet off the wheel and pedals as long as they continue to pay attention to the road. It's pretty amazing, as I said. A few years ago, when we were planning Hummer, the amount of vehicles sold over $100,000 in the entire industry was not that many. Now, that has radically changed in the last 3 years. There's been a rapid increase in vehicle prices, and there's been an even quicker rise at the top end. We expect to sell out really quite quickly. And GMC will add an entry-level Sierra EV elevation priced around $50,000 in 2025, alongside the Sierra EV AT4 off-road model that has not been priced yet in 2025. And again, here's the thing, like, I do not understand the purpose of spending so much money on a brand new truck. Like, think about it. For this to really make financial sense to where you're not car poor, you have to be making over $200,000 a year for this to even make sense, because this car's price is going to like half in a couple of years, right? You're buying a depreciating asset, right? Which basically practically turns into a liability at a certain point. Like, so why would you spend that much money on something like that? By the way, car prices right now are so insane. Like, just the other day, I was checking out like a almost like a 10 to 15 year old 350Z or something like that, and that thing was still like $25,000. And I was just checking it out. I was like, what the heck? Why the hell is this thing 25 grand and this thing's got almost 200,000 miles? Let's see, not real surprising when you look at the fact over half America is as brain dead as Biden. These are some of them. Status symbol purchase for the liberal elitists. The middle class can't afford that thing. That's the thing. Like, no one can really afford this car. 107 grand down the drain, complete junk. Look, if I was going to spend like over 100 grand on a vehicle, I'd probably buy a pre-owned Lamborghini with a lot of miles. Well, I'll try to find one with a low miles, or get the new Shelby GT 500. Like, because that just looks so much cooler. Until we start getting more of our electricity from nuclear power instead of gas or coal, switching to electric vehicles doesn't make the planet greener. In fact, by the time you factor in the rare earth minerals and petroleum required to build the vehicle and batteries, it'll take years to break even on the environmental impact of these vehicles. Yes, their day will come, but not while the electricity still comes from gas and coal. There are cleaner, safer nuclear power generators on the horizon. Let's see. Not a single one of those buyers will ever use that truck for what it's supposedly intended for, hauling and carrying cargo. It'll be a rich boy's commuter toy, nothing more. Let's see. A video on YouTube, brand new EV pickup with 230-mile range, pulled an empty trailer one way, then 1,800 pounds the other, went 93 miles and was worried he couldn't make it. As the battery gets older, it gets worse. Now that's kind of scary. Yeah, anyone with the slightest need for a truck are not buying this load. See, like, this is the thing that I don't get, right? Yeah, see, like this is actually a good comment as to like what I'm trying to get at, right? No thanks. I'll keep my 13-year-old Denali HD. It gets 16 miles to the gallon, pulls 18,000 pounds, and has a range of 350 plus miles. I can fill it up in 5 minutes instead of 5 hours. And this person, I guess, has like a 2006 Z71. I bought new that I will also keep driving. Wow, he bought it in 2006 brand new. I bought a 2007 F-150 5.4 liter in 2009 for $8,500. It has less than 93,000, is in excellent shape, and I currently only put 2 to 3K on a year. I'm set. It tows 10K with ease. See, like, that's the thing. If you're actually going to use a truck as a truck, get a cheap truck so that, well, one, you could basically customize it to whatever you want. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's something about seeing like an older pickup truck that's slightly lifted with big tires on it, just driving around, not like too crazy big, but like just slightly lifted, that kind of looks like almost like a trail truck almost. And it's just, there's just something about it when you look at it, you're just like, wow, that looks super fun, right? I mean, horrible gas mileage, but still, right? You could spend maybe 10 grand for like a pre-owned, super reliable, but high mileage pickup truck that is basically capable to do anything you want. And the amount of money that you will save by simply buying that and using that as a truck instead of a brand new pickup truck like this, I think a lot of people don't actually realize something. Okay, so you're buying the vehicle, okay? You're also buying the brand new insurance on that vehicle, right? Not to mention, like, depending on like if you finance it or not, like, you're losing so much money, right? You're spending so much of a premium. Like, would you rather spend 10 grand cash, get everything you need, and just have to worry about gas and really cheap insurance because of the age of the truck? Or would you be tying up potentially $100,000 into a vehicle that could just get crashed and totaled? You have to pay insurance on it. The range is kind of iffy. Maybe it'll charge fast enough for what you want it to. You can't really use it as a truck because you're kind of scared you're going to damage it because it's over $100,000. It's like, what are you even doing? Like, and again, the only way that you could justify buying this truck is if you at minimum make over $200,000 a year at minimum, okay? So that you're not car poor. But get this, if this is not going to be your only vehicle and you only make $200,000, you're car poor at that point, right? If you got like a partner and they have a car that's like 10, 20, $30,000, you're car poor now, right? Even if you're making over the $200,000 because it's just you have too much money tied up in things that are going down in value. Now, here's the thing, if you're a car person, truck person, and you just absolutely love these vehicles, okay, go ahead and buy it, but make sure that you are debt free, have an emergency fund, have money automatically going into investments, and have basically reliable income coming in all the time, right? Or be able to have like a skill set that you could just literally snap your fingers and go make money, more money, whenever you want to, whenever you need to, right? Which a lot of people do not have the skill set to do that. A lot of people don't have the capability to do that. Like, be smart with your money and don't just waste $100,000. Like, to put it into perspective, you could put $107,000 instead of into this truck into basically the S&P 500, and pretty much every 10 years it's going to double, roughly speaking, right? Why would you not want to do that, but like you just want to just literally waste 100 grand? Like, losing so much money for something that you can't even utilize it to its fullest capabilities makes absolutely no sense to me, right? And here's the thing, there are some really cool trucks out there that gets everything done and needed to be done for under 10 grand. Now, also, the car market is kind of crazy, but to probably find something super reliable and also look super cool, you probably need 20, 30 grand, right? But you could still find that, right? Let's see, my Dodge Ram 4x4 cost me $1,500. $100,000 vehicles would simply never be on my list of good investments. You know what's great about pickups? You can drive them forever. Well, unless you have an electric one, then you have to be ready to replace the battery 2 or 3 times over the extended life of the truck. That'll cost you $15,000 to $20,000 per battery replacement. And where do the old toxic batteries go? No one knows, but it ain't good. You keep saving that environment. It does not matter, they cost almost as much as a house payment. Also, once most people had electric cars, they will jack up the price to charge it on the road and raise electric prices. Like, this is so crazy, right? Like, we're getting to the point where brand new vehicles, like, if you were to finance it, are costing similar to your mortgage payment. That is so disgustingly scary, right? And I've seen some like video clips of people paying over $1,000 a month for their brand new cars. And that makes me want to puke, right? It's like, how are you even living a life on whatever salary you have working a normal 9 to 5 job, right? Because you're probably not making that much money, and yet you're spending potentially over $12,000, $13,000, maybe even $20,000, depending on like if it's closer to the $2,000 mark per year on just your car payment. not to mention insurance, not to mention gas, not to mention just general necessities in life, your utilities, your mortgage, your rent. Like, I don't know. It's getting so crazy to the point that like people really need to understand that like you have a lot more freedom to just splurge on something like this if you're debt free. If you have a lot of debt and you try to go and buy something like this, you are beyond foolish, right? Be safe. Like, at the very least, love yourself enough to not financially harm yourself. Whew. Let's see any more comments. My Dodge Ram 3500 has 500,500 miles on it. No leaks, uses no oil, everything still was on it. It's a 2015 with the factory brakes. They don't need changed either. No listen to the naysayers, but I drive it every day. Bingo. Dodge Ram 3500. Interesting. I stick with my Duramax. It'll tow more for a farther distance and cost $20,000 less. I can buy a lot of diesel for $20,000. Nobody who needs a road truck for work or towing would buy this. It appeals only to the woke and those who want a luxury vehicle and do not intend to drive very far. Yeah, this is more so like a city guy's truck. That's a good waste of money. For half the price, you can buy a pickup that will last twice as long. You can even drive it 10 states away if you want. Can't do that with an EV. See, what's crazy about this, right, with the price of this vehicle, instead of buying this like an electric vehicle, right, you could buy a Mustang GT, a Dodge Challenger, uh, probably even a Dodge Charger base model, and probably also a super gas friendly Honda Civic. So you could pretty much have four cars, all paid for, all basically fun in a sense, all very reliable, cheap to maintain. It's like, I just don't get it, right? And again, to me, if I was going to drop 100 grand on a car, on a vehicle, I would rather drop that on one, either a very, very uniquely fun pre-owned supercar or a brand new muscle car, right? Of like the highest tier ever, just for the wow factor for myself, right? These will just be fun. Like, I mean, I gotta say, like, literally, that new Shelby GT 500 looks amazing. But still, not to mention, think about it too. You could also buy a Tesla for less than half this amount of money, too. You could also probably buy the soon to be Tesla truck for probably less than half of this vehicle, right? Like, how are they trying to justify this price for an electric vehicle pickup truck? Like, it just doesn't make any sense at all. Such a deal. A 107,000 EV pulling an 80,000 RV. So when the truck runs out of power, stop light up the RV generator and wait 8 hours to recharge. Who wouldn't spend that kind of money to go camping? The new Ford Lightning on a full charge towing 6,000 pounds gets an estimated 86 miles on a charge. I'll stick to my gas things. Okay, so now this is an interesting comment. So 107,000 is the new normal for trucks in Biden's America. Translation, you don't get one. Middle class peasants take the bus. $107,000 for a 6-year loan with 15,000 down gives you a monthly payment of 1736. Now add to that state tax around $2,000 a month. Oh, Jesus Christ, right? Like that amount of money being spent on an electric vehicle pickup truck makes me want to puke in my mouth. Like that is so stupid. That is approximately 700 more a month than most home loans. Like seriously, think about that. You can literally get a mortgage with this amount of money. Like it is so stupid. Just read we only have 25 days worth of diesel stockpiled. Oh dear Lord, I hope that's not the case. $107,000 for a vehicle. That's funny. The majority of people couldn't even think about affording one of these trucks, let alone a cheaper EV car. This will turn out to be a nightmare. These trucks will not have performed as advertised. Wait and see the lawsuits pour in when they are dead on the interstate waiting for a tow. Oof. See, here's the thing, right? I could see, like, for example, the only way that I would be willing to buy an electric vehicle truck like this would be if I was making $500,000 a year and that was like a very reliable source of income to the point where I already had a few cars, a few trucks, and I just bought it for the fun of it. Like, that's the only possible way that I could justify myself buying something like this. This is so stupid. I miss my 1967 Volkswagen Beetle. It's just a toy for all those elites buying this pickup cruising around from charger to charger in the warm California climate. Do you really think that the average American worker can make a buck using this for work? They'll spend more time and money charging it up. Most trucks are not used for work. Plenty of people use them for commuting and occasionally haul some materials for a weekend project, which I think is so beyond stupid financially as well. Like, if you're using a pickup truck for your commute, you are literally just like grabbing a handful of cash and just lighting it on fire, right? Even if it's like a cheap pickup truck, right? Now, if it's your only vehicle, okay, use it, right? But if you have an alternative, get a super cheap high like a car that goes like really good on gas mileage, right? Because then you could be saving so much money that with the excess cash, if you wanted to, you could deck your pickup truck to however high you want, however big you want, right? And also, it'll help you basically save enough money to pay off your debt too, which by the way, if you want to learn how to do that, go down below. Now, this person did make a good comment. That isn't what happened. A bunch of people made non-committal $100 deposits. Public companies should not be allowed to report this type of scenario as sales. It is dishonest and borders illegal and records these accrued revenue. Well, the thing is, pretty much people basically gave them like a few $1 million in terms of like easy loan, basically. Easy loan money. So they basically got what they wanted anyways. I have a 1998 GMC Sierra 3500 4x4 four-door long bed with fifth wheel hitch hidden in bed that was the cat's meow back in 1998. It's not a dually and it's not jacked up or tall at all. It's a workhorse and great farm truck. I just picked up 120 bales of 80-pound hay in a trailer and 30 stacked in the bed, and the truck pulled the trailer with ease. GMC should come and look at this truck to see what they did right. Most trucks cannot even haul the 30 bales in the bed, much less pull the trailer full of hay. Let's see. So the Ford Lightning was tested by Motor Trend and the towing results were abysmal. 90 miles with the 7,218 pound Grand Design trailer. 107,000 for a pickup truck dependent upon an electric outlet. Stay away from floods. Yeah, so feel free to give your thoughts if you stumble upon this. Would you ever spend over $100,000 on an electric vehicle pickup truck, or basically any vehicle for that matter, right? Like for me, even though I love cars, I would only be okay with dropping over $100,000 on any vehicle if I was making like 250,000 plus per year in a very reliable, easy way. Meaning, I knew that it was pretty much a guarantee that I'd be making at minimum $250,000 a year, right? And that I would only have basically two vehicles. Probably, like, if that was my situation, I would probably have a cheap pickup truck because you could use it for everything, and then two, probably a pre-owned Lamborghini because I like Lamborghinis. They look pretty awesome. But that would be the combination of like vehicles that I would have if I was making that type of money, right? To where I could justify spending that type of money on vehicles. But it's like, dear Lord, like, who are the people trying to buy this vehicle? By the way, if you want to learn how to get out of debt and grow your net worth and learn how I got out of debt, go down below.